Yo, what's good, Joe? It's your man, the Bigga P, and about to lay down some thoughts from the past quadruple header on Saturday. I was pretty busy all weekend, so I didn't have time to really do my usual video after the fights were over. So I figured, now's not, now's a better time than ever to do it before I go to sleep. Overall, I liked the card. It was a very entertaining night of fights. Um, Quickly to go down, Bailey and Alexander. I mean, it was a god awful fight. There's no question about that. I hated that fight. I hated that Bailey, who I actually like as a fighter, just basically didn't throw any type of punches. I mean, his punch output was terrible. And then there was Alexander, whose style is just so labored. I can't stand it sometimes because he has the talent to do more things, but instead sometimes he just pot shots and get on his bicycle when he does have the power to actually knock somebody out or try to actually do some damage. And mostly because he fought that way because he was scared of actually getting starched by Bailey's right hand. So it made for a very dull fight. Devin is a welterweight title holder. Remains to be seen. I mean, I'm definitely not looking forward to any of his future fights. I mean, unless he's facing someone who's very offensive. And as for Bailey, I mean, his time in the time in the big time is over. I mean, but you never know with these eliminators. He just may win a couple of eliminators and then find himself back in contention again. The second fight was Quillen and Dumb. That fight was the fight of the night. That fight was damn good. Quillen showing unbelievable power, especially with his left hook, and he knocked it down and down 6 times in the fight, like two times in 3 of the rounds that he went down in. That was pretty good. But it was funny though, even outside those knockdowns, Dumb was holding his own. It was actually outboxing Quillen, who sometimes looked like to gas out, but his power was saving him. I thought the scores were a little bit too wide for my taste, but Quillen, he won it. He won it fair. I mean, 6 knockdowns. You definitely win the fight off that. And Quillen, I mean, do I think he's probably ready for Sergio Martinez? Probably not. I mean, although it depends whether or not if that fight with Chavez Jr. took a toll on Martinez physically, because I know he had all those injuries he's recovering from. But hell, I wouldn't mind seeing Quillen and then Dom on a pay-per-view, since I believe and Dom says he has a rematch clause in his contract. So I would throw that fight in a pay-per-view. That would definitely make the card, whatever card's on, just a little bit a lot stronger. And props to him, Duncan. That was the first time I've ever seen him fight, and dude impressed me with his determination and his chin, because a couple of those knockdowns that should have actually I thought he was done for the night on a couple of them. But yeah, he showed heart. He showed showed a good chin to get back up, and there was much nothing all respects due to him. I look forward to seeing him back in the ring again. Third fight was Malignaggi versus Kano. Now, this fight originally, it was supposed to be a welterweight title fight, but it was a Kano or Kano. He didn't make weight. He was off by about 0.2 pounds or whatever. So Paulie was going to retain his title regardless. He wasn't. I think the WBA rule is if that the champion does not lose his title, if of course he actually lost the fight. So I guess regardless of that, I think Paulie was a little bit, he fought a little tentatively, probably, maybe because of the prospect of facing a possibly bigger man in the ring. So he allowed himself for most of the rounds to get outworked, which is what he did. In the 11th round, he got lazy and he got caught with that vicious right hand that sent him down. I thought Kano was good. I thought I had Kano up by, I think a point was I had it like 114, 113 too, just like most of the judges did. But Paulie eked it out. And I hope that's a lesson. I wouldn't say that's a lesson to him. I mean, At first, I was thinking maybe Paulie broke his hand, but like I said, most likely I think he was just scared of finding a bigger man, and he didn't want to really go all out. He just stuck to jabbing him, which Paulie's left jab, as brittle as his hands are, his left jab is pretty effective. Like he busted up Count's face with just that jab alone. He threw the left hand, he threw the right hand every now and then for good measure, but it was that left jab that really busted him up. And Paulie himself was lumped up pretty good too. So, Paulie made his defense, and hopefully he'll fight alive. I mean, I don't know if Kano will get a rematch. I mean, if Kano actually made weight, then I could see him I could see a rematch going, but Kano didn't even bother to make weight for the fight. So, guess he'll have to try again. He'll have to work. Get back to the drawing board. Try to get another shot. Now, the main event, Garcia Morales 2. I was not a fan of when I heard about the rematch, because I thought the first fight, yes, Garcia, it went the distance, and Garcia did manage to pull a knockdown off in that fight, but it was a fight that was not needed because and then we had the controversy with Eric getting found with the Clint in the system, but then they was talking about it could be from whatever the food he ate in Mexico. But when I saw Eric enter that ring with the pigeon fat around his middle, I'm thinking to myself, this is not going to be good. And it wasn't good. I didn't. I mean, I personally didn't like seeing Eric get beaten up the way he did, and the KO was brutal. Like he turned this way and that. Like he reminded me of a character in Punch Out or something about how they would fall. And I never see anyone fall like that. And it was sad. I mean, the corner just rushed in immediately to stop the fight. So, yeah, I mean, the win for Garcia, it didn't mean nothing. All he did was he did something that he failed to do in the first fight, which is actually KO Morales. I do like Garcia. I mean, he seems to be a hard-working fighter, and he is the man at 140. He got the 2 belts and everything. But now he needs to fight a live body at 140. Now, I know politics won't allow Garcia and Rios, which would be a barn burner too. However, there's Matisse, who's still waiting ranks. He has an interim title. So, and I know Garcia in the post-fight interview, really was, really, I won't say degrading, but really, trying to lessen, the type of fighter that Matisse is. He's just a tough guy. Matisse, I personally think is my favorite 140 pounder right now. And he basically is a threat to everyone at 140. And I would love to see, I know he has interim title, I'd love to see them go at it in a fight. To at least prove his mettle that he at least, that Garcia will at least be the real goods at 140. Or if he could back up that Matisse is just a tough guy. As for Morales, there's nothing less. I mean, I know he says he's going to go to Mexico, he's going to retire and all, but I personally think this should be his last fight, but I know he wants to retire in Mexico, and I hope this retirement sticks. The man has a Hall of Fame career. He's fought 61 professional fights. 20 years or so, he's done, and he, like I said, Hall of Fame is waiting for him, and hopefully he has a happy retirement. Well, that's basically my thoughts on the quadruple header. I'm probably gonna go retire to my bed because I got to wake up in the morning to go to work, just like the majority of you. All right, y'all, peace.